Well, for any of you following along, probably not going to worry about trying to spread any fertilizer this weekend on the wheat. I should have put my rain gauge out because I don't think, well, at least until mid this coming week. As far as I know, I haven't checked yet, but don't think we got any chances of freezing for a while. So I should have put my rain gauge out, but I didn't. But it was raining at 6 when I woke up this morning, so it started sometime before 6. And it rained, and it rained, and it rained. And it rained until about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So, it'll probably be sometime early next week before I'm brave enough to go on a wheat field and not worry about rutting it up. But anyhow, we got some stuff. Just a few things. Just got a delivery from the old Ziegler Ranch down there in central Illinois. Anybody that's been around long enough to remember old Jake, and anybody that has him on Facebook or is on any of the Oliver pages on Facebook might know by now that their 7800 and their 8700 or 9700 are gone. They sold them. They needed barn space. If I remember right, they actually lost the farm they were renting that had the shed on it where the 7800 lived. So they sold the 9700 2 years ago. I don't know. Time flies. I can't remember. It wasn't more than 2 years ago, but that went to a dairy farm up in Wisconsin. And the 7800 went to a collector. It stayed in Illinois, if I remember right. But anyhow, they had to clean out the barn where the 7800 was living, and they don't have any white or olive. I think Jake might still have the 525, but they don't have any white or Oliver combines anymore besides the 525. So they were cleaning out all this pigeonholes in the shop where they had their parts for the combines, and they had to clean out the shed where the 7800 was living. And Jake kind of did me a little dirty on the 7800 because, you know, he got me set up on the 8700, and then a year later, it might not even been a year later when he first texted me about it. It might have only been like 6 months. He said, "Hey, we're selling 7800." I'm like, "Dang it, Jake, I don't have any barn space. I just brought the 8700 home, so I had to let that one go." But man, if you were gonna get a 7800, that would have been the one to get. That thing was beautiful. But who knows, maybe one day it'll come up for sale again and I'll get a second chance. But if I do get a second chance, you bet your ass I'm taking it. So, I actually saw that there's a 7600 for sale down in Rantoul. It's sitting at the hangar at the Chinook base right now. I guess the I&I Club's selling it, but same thing. I don't have any shed space for another combine. But anyway, back to what we got going on here. So this is all the stuff. Then there was a lot more than this, but this was the stuff that I deemed something I could possibly use. So that whole pile of belts there, I think they're all used, but he didn't have time to sort through them, and I was like, well, there might still be some good ones in there, so we'll just bring them up, and it doesn't cost me anything. If nothing else, I could throw them on the burn pile if they're all junk, which it looks like the vast majority of them, and some of them, yeah, like that one there, that's a 9700, so that doesn't do me any good anyhow. But some of them might be 9700 belts, so they wouldn't do me any good anyhow. But we got all sorts of good stuff. I got 2 final drives. I got the 2-speed gearbox for the cylinder drive. I got another cord head gearbox because I don't have a big enough pile of them over there on the pallet already. Actually, I think that's an entire row unit just disassembled. Hydraulic hose for something. Oh, that's an empty wet box that had a brand new gathering chain in it for the corn head, belt for something or other. The nice thing about the White and the Oliver combines is a lot of the belts are the same on most of them, so I have to look up that part number and see if it crosses over anything I got. Some couple axle shafts. Don't know if they'll fit anything. They probably, well, they might fit the 8700, but for sure I got 1, 2, 3, and I think there's a 4, 5 shaft couplers for the drive shafts, so those are always handy to have because you never know when you might strip one out. 1, 2, 3 axle shafts of different lengths, drive shaft for a grain table, drive shaft for a corn head, a couple more corn head shafts with snap clutches, corn head sprockets, other various wood bearing blocks, some new and used. That's for elevator chain tensioners. Some brand new parts, and I never did. That came out of that bag. I never did look in here to see what this is. A greasy spring for something or other. That's a brand new. Yeah, that's a brand new belt. Well, brand new, slightly aged. Some auger flighting, brand new, which it'd be nice if, we'll have to do some measuring, it'd be nice if that would fit in the 7300. That would save a bit of, I guess it's about the right length, but they never had a 7300, so I might not get that lucky. A power unit for real speed, that's got the hydraulic pump on it, reservoir, filter housing, all that. That is a belt pulley for the real speed on a newer series grain table, which we'll get over there in a minute. Apparently, sometime after my head was built, and I think my head's actually an 81, because it seems like that's what that white 7300 was that I bought. I think that was an 81. So apparently a little after 81 on the quick switch heads, they did start putting a real speed sensor on there. But mine doesn't have it, but I got a pulley for it. So all sorts of good stuff there in that pile. What's here? This is, that should be all flex head tin. That should be a side cover. That should be that's all side cover. One really nice end snout, and this one, he said they were driving down the road and went across some railroad tracks and the chain snapped, and the snout did a nosedive, which been there, done that. So that one's pretty much junk. I don't think there's any save to that one. The frames, I mean, I guess anything's fixable. Just matters how much you want to fix it, but I think that one might just go to scrap, but we'll save this one because that one's actually really, really nice. And then we come to this guy. This is a 15-foot quick switch head, or quick cut, quick switch series quick cut, all quick. This thing has been spoken for a while. I was gonna get it, and I just never had a chance to make it down there to pick it up. And after all this transpired, here we sit. Because Jake's uncle actually hauled all this up for me, because he had to come up here to Wakarusa to pick up some tractor parts anyhow, so he hauled it all up here for me. I didn't even have to go get it. There's that real speed pickup, by the way. So I thought Jake told me this was a 13-foot. Well, it turns out it's a 15. So I mean, honestly, it's not in terrible shape. It needs a floor in it, obviously. The auger needs a little bit of attention, but not terrible. I've seen a lot worse. One in the 525 is a lot worse. So the auger would probably just have to come out of it and get some attention. It's had a finger come loose. It didn't cut it. I don't see any holes where it punched through, but obviously had a finger cut loose and run around in there for a while. You can get a little rust going right there. That's an easy fix. I mean, I think the whatever issues the auger might have, I think are fixable. Backbone straight, reels straight. It's got one broken pipe, I thought. Where's the broken pipe? Yeah, right there. It's got one pipe that's broke, so that would need fixed. Anyway, when I thought it was a 13 foot, my initial thought was bring it home, get the cutter bar off of it, take the auger off of it, maybe save some reel parts, because I've already got a bunch of reel parts, don't really need any more. Cut the backbone out of it for the box tube, and scavenge any usable parts off of the sickle drive and anything like that, and then just scrap the rest of the head. But then it gets here and it's a 15 foot, and I'm looking at it and it's like, I mean, yeah, you roll some floor pans in it, and it looks like that might need a little attention right there, because that's not supposed to be, I guess the other side's the same way though. But anyway, need a 15 or 18 foot head, something in that range for the 70 or for the 8700. And I'm like looking at this thing, and it's, I mean, yeah, she ain't perfect by any means, that's for sure, but I think it might be salvageable. It's not, if I do decide to salvage it, it's nothing that I'm going to be gung-ho about getting done anytime. What's this? Oh, sickle pitman. Or I guess it's not the pitman, this is the, don't know what they call this in the parts book, but anyway, this is the pitman hooks here, or pitman hooks, and then your sickle hooks, and that's what runs the sickle back and forth. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, it might be, I mean, it was basically, I can't say how much I paid for all this, because Jake's Uncle Mark said that's between him and Jake, so I'm not going to say how much I paid for it, but suffice to say, it wasn't much at all, including getting it hauled up here. So I don't know. This is something I'm going to have to think on, because even if I do, obviously if I fix it up to that quick cut cutter bar is going away and just getting a Carrari put on it, so I'd have to do another conversion there. So this is a little longer, probably figure 2,500 bucks ish to put a cutter bar on it. Probably pull the auger out of it, put all new bearings in the auger, fix the center section, whatever's wrong in there, make sure the fingers and everything are good to go, so run through the auger. And it is missing parts, and it would obviously need a snout. But in that pile of parts is damn near everything that I need other than a snout to put that head back together. Really all I'd have to do is hunt down a snout and put floor pans in it, and it would be a serviceable head again. Fix that reel pipe. I've got the reel speed. I've got the reel drive. Teeter, get over here. Quit driving the dog. Teeter! Quit driving their dog nuts. I've got the reel drive pump. It's got a newer reel drive motor. Well, actually it'd be older because it's green, but they replaced the reel drive motor. I mean, the only thing I would have to do to it to run it on the 8700 is the 8700 does not use cable control for the reel speed like the 7300 does. The 8700, they went to an electric toggle switch, so I'd have to get the different valve on it that ran on the newer heads to run reel speed with a toggle switch. But other than that, like I say, most of the parts that I need to put that together, or put it back together, other than floor pans, are in this pile. So, I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to think about. Almost have to power wash it, which I'm going to have to bring the 8700 over here to pick it up to get it back to my house anyway, because I don't want to leave it sitting here. My original intent was it wasn't going to sit here that long, because I was going to cut it up for scrap and get rid of it so it wasn't sitting here. But now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that, because I kind of just had a almost not that really expensive head just dropped off in my lap and I wasn't even looking for it because I thought it was a 13 foot. So that being said, it's getting to the point where I almost need a second barn just for all my parts, because I've still got a whole pallet of cornhead parts over there that I got no place to put them. But the final drives and that 2-speed gearbox are very welcome additions, because you never know. I mean, you take care of that 2-speed gearbox, you should never have a problem with it. It should. So, and it's loose, everything's... Some of the pulley parts are scattered in here too. The spring, that's part of it. The spring is, the tension spring's around here somewhere. I remember throwing it somewhere. So, got Pitman shafts. That's the Pitman drive that goes on that shaft. As long as that shaft's long enough to work on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure what's all in health. It's real pipe bushings. I think this is all new finger bushings. Yeah, that's a whole thing of brand spanking new finger bushings. So, but yeah, like I say, I got plenty of parts. It's just going to be a matter of deciding, do you put that head back together, or do you hold out for an 18 foot? Which, if I went to an 18 foot, if I held out for an 18 foot, I'd buy a 900 series all day long. But that one's here, and it ain't like we don't have the skill to put that one back together. So maybe we'll, maybe won't. Something we're gonna have to decide. So anyhow, I did not mean for this video to get almost 20 minutes long, so I got to get this stuff situated and not laying in the middle of the driveway. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Sorry it got so long, didn't mean to.